Well, it's great to see a number of people have stayed online, and hopefully a few other people might join us. We are running a little bit ahead of time, but media will join us shortly, I'm sure. Just kind of make sure we get the perspective of someone who's a practicing solicitor and has been in. I've just seen him come in outside, so I just invited her in. So if you're new, my name's Mark Lewis. I'm the People and Capability Manager here at Lane Neave. And just drifting in through now, very good. We have Amelia, who's a solicitor with us in our litigation team, and is previously a summer clerk with us. So very much what I'm keen to talk to you about today is the expectations versus the realities of working in a law firm. I guess like I mentioned earlier, but for anyone who's joined recently, we are a full service law firm. Currently, we have approximately 25 partners and close to, it's closer to 180 staff now across our 4 offices. Lane Neave has been around for 150 years, so we're very well established, particularly in the South Island, which is where the firm started. But we've got really good presence in Auckland and Wellington, and we're looking to grow that presence. As with a number of other firms, we are a full service law firm, and while we may call some things slightly different things, in essence, we provide the full suite of services to our clients, irrespective of where they come for a private matter or for a corporate matter or a commercial matter. And sometimes they come for one of those, and then they end up needing our advice around something else at a different age or stage of their lives. In terms of Lane Neave, our diamond signal is a real metaphor for the way that we approach things. And in essence, our role as a firm and the way we work internally as well is to make the complex simple. That's what we're always trying to do. We want to, kind of resolve people's issues or help them realise their opportunities. And at times, some people think that those are simple, and we have to kind of understand the complexities around that. Or sometimes they feel it's complex, and it's our job to simplify what it is so that we can get to the right outcome. And I guess the key things is that we always want to start from a single point, from a really clear position with the people that we're working with around what they need and what they want and what the expectations are. And then we'll make sure that we have explored that fully and all the different ways that we could approach that, whether you're coming to join us as a summer clerk or if you're a client wanting to, get an opinion on something. And we've got a lot of expertise within the firm that can really help with that. And certainly, as I mentioned before, you may start in one particular area as a graduate here, but it doesn't mean that you need to stay there. And so we have had people move between offices and between teams as kind of their careers evolved and have kind of figured out where they want to be or what they want to do, which in essence is there where we shape and define what actually needs to be delivered. And we make sure that it's really crisp, sharp, and accurate in terms of what we provide and only what is required. If it can be done on a page, it's done on a page. We don't have to make everything really long. So very much we go from that divergent to convergent thinking, and we want to come up with different ways of doing things. We don't just always approach every issue or opportunity in the same way. So I guess, some of the expectations versus some of the reality, and this is what we hear from people, is that people go, I'm going to spend most of my time photocopying and proofreading, right? Well, certainly I can't speak for all law firms or other professional services firms, but certainly the reality at Lane Neave is we really want to provide you with opportunities to do real work. And that's where you need to be a little bit flexible around things. While we align our summer clerks to a team or to an office, because we want to make sure we give you real work, it might actually be in a slightly different area that actually has some stuff that's perfect for the level that you're working at. And so, I was just thinking about one of our summer clerks last summer. They were actually working in the immigration team, but they ended up doing a whole bunch of stuff for the employment team, even though they then had another cycle of the employment team, because the employment team just had a whole lot of work that was really good to get people involved with. But yep, there's photocopying, proofreading from time to time, because that's just the nature of the work, right? we can't all escape that. And so, yeah, there will be some of that, but we really strive to make sure that people get an experience of what it's like to work as a solicitor, and, spend time with clients, go to meetings, do real work. And if there's research, not a research or a project of something that's not actually something that's happening in real time for us. Yeah, if I have good grades, you make an excellent lawyer. Well, good grades is not a bad thing, but like I said previously, just having good grades doesn't mean that you will be a good lawyer, and it's not the only thing that we look for in a firm. We certainly look to understand people's personality and make sure there's that real alignment around what they want to achieve in life and in their career, and whether Lane Neave is the place to do that. And we know that sometimes some of our lawyers with the best grades don't necessarily build relationships well with clients. And while of course we'll help with that, when we're going through our process of selecting and making offers around who might come and join the firm, we make sure we balance that. So the reality is, yeah, those soft skills are really important to us as much as the technical knowledge. And we can develop both of those areas. And so we don't ever come, no one ever comes to the firm fully formed, and no one is ever finished in their career in terms of what they can learn and develop. So yeah, make sure that what we're looking for is a really rounded person who has a variety of skills, networks, as well as the kind of technical know-how for the role. And I've spoken about this a few times. We've had people apply through the summer clerk process and be offered a summer clerk role. And then we've said, oh, would you like to come and spend some time in our commercial property team? And I said, oh, we haven't done any property papers. While sometimes that's helpful, in essence, it's more the understanding the process that you go through that's really important and that you learn at university, as opposed to the actual technical parts of the law. And Amelia can probably talk to this a little bit more when I hand over to her. But in essence, your papers at law school are important, and you should follow your interests in what you find engaging, because of course you'll do better in those areas. But if you haven't done something at the law firm, that's okay. We will train you up in the technical areas that you're doing, and we will also teach you the business of law, which is different to what's in what you get. Some of the things you get taught in university, and they both complement each other. And you can't learn the business of law at university, and you can't learn some of the other things while at work that you learn at university. And then you've got profs that sits in the middle, and so those three things come together really well to make sure you can figure that out. And some people land in their perfect area right from the start, and some people practice in more than one area or multiple areas through their careers. And we've just had a great opportunity accepted this year from Hannah, who's based up at Vic University. She did a stint with the employment team, really enjoyed that. She did a stint with the commercial property team, enjoyed the work and enjoyed the people, but decided it wasn't something that she was really interested in. And she's taken a role in our litigation team, because through the process of talking to other clerks and seeing the other work, she decided actually litigation was the thing that was key for her. And that was a bit of a surprise to her. She wasn't expecting that. Doesn't mean that she's rethought what papers she's doing this year at university. Her calendar was already mapped out, but we'll make sure that she gets that that kind of development once she arrives here. And so, probably what's a really good thing to actually hear from is someone who's already been through this process before, from being a student and thinking about where they wanted to start their career and what they might look like, through to what it looks like through being a summer clerk, into finishing off your studies, and then into what does that actually look like day to day here at Lane Neave. So I'll hand over to you, Amelia.
So yeah, hi, I'm Amelia, as Mark said, and I'm a solicitor here at Lane Neave in the litigation team. So to give a bit of background, I guess I was always quite lucky in that I knew that I wanted to study law, and so studied law and a Bachelor of Arts at UC. And when it got to my penultimate year, I was definitely looking for legal experience and to start finding an area and firm that I'd be able to work at post-university, basically. So I applied for Lane Neave and was lucky to get a summer clerkship here. It was a fantastic summer. I spent the first half in the immigration team and then the second half in the litigation team. Now, going into the clerkship, I wasn't overly sure what area would be best for me or what area I'd enjoy most, but getting to experience it over the summer was very helpful. And while I enjoyed both areas of law, I definitely lean towards litigation, in particular because I really liked the research component to it. So after the summer clerkship, I went back to finish my last year of university, and then started as a grad here at the beginning of last year. So I'm a year in, and over that time, I went from a clerk to a solicitor. So one thing you don't really hear a lot about at university is the professionals course. So this is something that everyone does need to do before they can officially call themselves a lawyer in New Zealand. This course is designed to be undertaken either before starting work or alongside work. Lane Neave was really supportive in that, giving time to be able to study for professionals and meet those courses. And this course is so helpful in teaching just all the practical side of things. So the internship gave a really good basis in what firms want for work. So it's not all essays like university typically is. It's a lot of letter writing and doing memorandums and opinions. So this course is great in getting those skills basically implanted in you. And from there, I was admitted mid last year. So basically, from when you're a clerk and when you are admitted as a lawyer, in terms of the role a junior lawyer has, a lot doesn't change in terms of the day-to-day, but it is great because from there you are able to more so officially sign off on things. But a typical day as a grad in litigation, it is always very varied, as cliche as that may sound, but there are some consistent jobs that will pop up throughout most weeks. So the first one is research. So it may be just doing a part of research on a really niche part of law for someone else in your team as part of a bigger picture. So you may have a really clear question and it may just be a couple of hours researching, or it may be that you yourself are getting to draft a letter of advice to a client. So for that, you get to review all the background, think about the different defences or causes of action, and do very wide-ranging research. Another key day-to-day task is client communication. So sometimes it's just flicking off a quick email, giving the client an update on correspondence from the other side or the court, or it may be a phone call or going along to meetings. And as well, other key tasks can include some of the more admin roles, which typically go to junior lawyers that are so important in the court process. So one of those is discovery, which is basically reviewing documents and getting them ready for the court process. And as well as that, there's always drafting legal documents as well. So that might be a statement of defence or submissions to support your case. So it's very wide-ranging, which is part of why I love the area of litigation. Definitely always learning new things. And what's been really great has been just getting exposure to such a wide range of tasks right from the get-go. I mean, as Mark said, it's not all photocopying as a summer clerk, that's for sure. In fact, I found most of it was right in the deep end, getting to take part in meaningful experiences. Even got to go along to negotiations and watch some of the team in court. So yeah, it's very wide-ranging, and definitely recommend applying, getting out there and finding your area.
Cool, thank you very much, Amelia. So hopefully that gives people a bit more of an idea around not just what it looks like in terms of summer clerk or starting, but then what kind of how your career can start to progress in the first year. And I guess in terms of Lane Neave, our applications, if you are interested, are open now, and they close on Monday. So you've got a little bit of time to think about some of those things. There's a couple of ways that you can apply. So you can go to the Grad NZ website and apply through our page there, or you can also come directly to our internet site and apply directly to us as well. Both of those we're monitoring those all the time. I guess the three things that we ask for as part of the application process is a covering letter, and as I mentioned previously, it's really important in a covering letter that you can articulate who you are as a person, so we see some of your personality and what you're passionate about, and also how you think that Lane Neave could support your aspirations in terms of your career or other parts of your life. So we wanted to see that alignment between us as an employer and you as a potential candidate. In terms of your CV, what we're looking there is for a broad range of experiences, and particularly if you've had any kind of experiences where you've been working in teams or you've had leadership opportunities, and those can be in the sporting world, it can be through volunteering, it can be through the community. Any of those avenues are all equally beneficial. But I guess we really want to see what breadth of experience you have, because we know that people who've had a broader range of experiences always are more successful. And then we do ask for your transcript as well, and that just needs to be the most up-to-date one. Of course, it doesn't really matter too much for us around what papers you're doing this year, but certainly your academic results up until the end of last year are important as part of the process. But we're not just looking at your GPA. That is a factor. We do get a lot of applications, and we do have to decide between different people. But we also look for, is there an improvement in your grades across time? Are there some other factors that we want to take into account on balance? And we do look across those three things: your cover letter, your CV, and your transcript in a balanced way. One's not more weighted than the other. So, yep, if you're thinking about what you want to do next summer, beyond maybe hitting a few festivals and other bits and pieces, coming and spending the summer with us. Our program runs for about 10 weeks. You get to earn some money, but most importantly, you'll get to develop a whole bunch of experiences that will really inform your last few years at university, and will likely end up meaning that you'll have a graduate offer. So when you finish university, you'll be able to start your career with us. So yeah, completely open to questions. Certainly I'll be able to answer some of them, and Amelia will be able to answer other ones. And that's the end of our presentation.
One of the questions is, how many clerks are you taking on for the summer? How many opportunities are there?
Yeah, so we don't have a firm number. I mean, we generally have been taking more. So last summer we had 8 clerks, but we will be taking more this coming summer. We're looking at probably a couple in Auckland, one in Wellington, one in Queenstown, and then up to 5, maybe more in Christchurch, being our largest office. But very much it's about finding the right people and then getting them to the right place around those opportunities. So we try to show some flexibility around that, but yeah, we're looking at kind of 8 to 10 at least clerks next summer.
Thank you. And do you accept applications from foreign students?
As long as people can work in New Zealand, yeah, we're open to that. If they don't have a pathway to that, I mean, in essence, our summer clerk process is our main graduate pathway. So we really want to meet with people, and we really want to make offers to people who want to start their career with Lane Neave. You know, while it's great to be able to provide people experiences in a law firm, you know, we're really looking for people who want to work for us, because it is our main pathway into graduates. We do recruit some graduates outside the summer clerk process, but it is preferable to us that that people are looking to start their career and would prefer to start their career with us. I guess the key thing is maybe to explain a little bit more about Lane Neave if people are thinking about applying, and some of the things that are important to us. So we really believe in balancing well-being and performance. We've talked about people can have great careers with us, but you know, we like to think that we can provide that balance for people in terms of stuff that's outside their life, and we know that that's really important in terms of their well-being. And we also know that, you know, purpose in your work is really important. And you know, staff have told us that making a positive social impact is really important to them. And so, you know, we've established a corporate social responsibility committee, which is a staff-led committee last year, and they're doing work in the diversity inclusion space and in their carbon footprint specifically at the moment. But we're also taking ideas from that group around other ways that we can make a really positive impact in our local communities. And you know, we're not the biggest law firm. Like we're not a large law firm. We are a mid-sized law firm, but we firmly believe that we have the clients and then we have the work that is the same as you would receive at a large law firm in terms of opportunities and the capabilities that we require. We offer that large firm capability to our clients. So we, hand on heart, believe that. But we very much want to continue to be focused on that mid-sized firm affordability. So what's really important to us is that we provide great value to our clients. You know, our charge out rates aren't the highest, you know, which means we need to manage some of our other costs, you know, more carefully and think about how we spend some of that money. But we don't do that at the detriment to the way that we remunerate our staff, because in essence, we deliver services with and through our people, and so how we reward them is really important. So mid-sized firm affordability, but what we never want to lose, and every law firm starts as a small law firm, is our boutique client intimacy. So we want to have just like we want to have a genuine relationship with everyone in the firm, we want to have a genuine relationship with our clients, and we don't want to see that we're at a different level to them at all. And so that familiar kind of way that we interact with our clients, and we interact with each other in firm is really important to us, and why everyone can talk to everyone, which is not always people's experience at some other law firms. And then the last one is that we are genuinely committed to being a good employer, and that is in everything. The way we remunerate people, you know, how we celebrate success, you know, what other activities we offer in the firm, how we look after people and if they've got family. You know, our response to what's been going on in the last couple of years, particularly for our people up in Auckland have had to do it tough, and you know, some of the things we're going through now is we work really hard to be a good employer. And I'm not saying that we're perfect, but we do listen and we do respond to the things that are important to the people that work for us.